Disclaimer: this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Always consult with a qualified healthcare professional before starting or changing any peptide or supplement protocol. Let's talk about Semax, a peptide that has gained attention for its unique role in cognitive function, neuroprotection, and even mood regulation. Developed originally in Russia, Semax is a synthetic peptide derived from a fragment of adrenocorticotropic hormone, or ACTH, but modified so that it does not cause the hormonal effects typically associated with ACTH. Instead, it acts primarily on the central nervous system. When people first hear about Semax, they often associate it with improved memory, focus, and learning. Research has shown that Semax can enhance neuroplasticity, meaning it supports the brain's ability to form new neural connections. This is particularly important for memory formation and learning new skills. It works in part by influencing levels of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, or BDNF, a critical protein that helps neurons survive and grow. Another fascinating property of Semax is its ability to reduce oxidative stress and protect neurons from damage. In animal studies and early clinical applications, it has been found to help reduce the severity of brain injuries and to support recovery after strokes. That is one reason why Semax is often categorized as a nootropic and neuroprotective peptide rather than a metabolic or muscle-building one. The mechanisms of Semax go beyond just BDNF. It also modulates neurotransmitter systems, including dopamine and serotonin, which play roles in motivation, mood regulation, and emotional stability. Some users report improved mood, reduced anxiety, and more resilience to stress after using Semax. These effects may be explained by its influence on these neurotransmitter pathways. Semax is typically administered as a nasal spray, which makes it different from many peptides that require subcutaneous injection. The intranasal delivery method allows it to bypass the digestive system and reach the brain more directly through the olfactory and trigeminal pathways. Dosing strategies vary, but common regimens include small sprays several times per day for periods of a few days up to several weeks. In terms of clinical applications, Semax has been studied and used in Russia for conditions such as ischemic stroke, cognitive decline, and even optic nerve damage. Some researchers believe it could have therapeutic potential in neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's, although more studies are needed outside of Russia to confirm these benefits. One of the interesting aspects of Semax is its potential role in work performance and learning environments. Because it can enhance attention and mental clarity, some people explore it as a productivity tool. However, it is important to remember that while it may improve cognitive performance in the short term, its long-term safety profile outside of therapeutic contexts is not as well documented. Side effects reported with Semax are generally mild. Some individuals notice nasal irritation or a slight burning sensation after use. Others may experience headaches or changes in mood if the dosage is too high. Compared to many synthetic drugs, Semax is considered relatively safe, but because it affects the brain, careful and informed use is recommended. Another unique benefit associated with Semax is its ability to support recovery from stress and fatigue. By acting on the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis and influencing stress hormone regulation, it may help reduce the feeling of being overwhelmed during prolonged mental or physical demands. This is one reason why some biohackers and performance-oriented individuals incorporate it into their regimens. It is also worth noting that Semax has several analogs, such as C-Link, which is another Russian-developed peptide with overlapping but distinct effects. While Semax is more focused on cognitive enhancement and neuroprotection, C-Link tends to have stronger anti-anxiety properties. Sometimes these peptides are even used together to balance focus, mood, and stress resilience. From a biochemical standpoint, the fact that such a small peptide fragment can exert such wide-ranging neurological effects is fascinating. It highlights how finely tuned the body's signaling systems are and how even subtle modifications to peptides can unlock new therapeutic possibilities. In the broader context of peptides for brain health, Semax stands out because of its extensive use in Russia's medical system. While Western medicine has not widely adopted it yet, the research base is growing, and interest in its applications for cognitive decline, traumatic brain injury, and even multiple sclerosis is increasing. If we step back and look at lifestyle applications, Semax might appeal to people who want sharper focus for work or study, athletes who need mental clarity under pressure, or individuals recovering from neurological insults. But again, these uses should always be approached with caution because the evidence base outside of clinical contexts is still developing. Some users anecdotally describe Semax as a kind of mental amplifier. They notice tasks feel easier, reading retention improves, and distractions are less bothersome. Others describe an enhanced sense of motivation. These subjective experiences match what scientists suspect based on its effects on dopamine and BDNF, though personal results can vary significantly. Because Semax is delivered intranasally, it is also convenient compared to injection-based peptides. This ease of use has contributed to its popularity. However, purity, sourcing, and dosing remain key considerations, since peptides are not universally regulated in all countries. In terms of its place in a broader peptide protocol, Semax often pairs well with agents that support mitochondrial health, such as MOS-C or NAD+, or with peptides that focus on anti-aging and tissue repair. The idea is to combine neurological support with systemic metabolic health, creating a comprehensive strategy for longevity and performance. The story of Semax is also a reminder that peptides are a frontier of medicine where traditional drug discovery meets the body's natural signaling molecules. They blur the line between supplement and pharmaceutical, between enhancement and therapy. As research expands, we may see Semax or related compounds become more mainstream in cognitive health strategies. Disclaimer: this information is provided for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Always seek professional guidance from a qualified healthcare provider before using peptides or making any changes to your health plan. Thanks for listening, keep learning, and stay curious.